All right, good evening, everybody. Tonight is August 4th. It's the monthly meeting of the Planning Board. If everyone could stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mike, we'll give you a head start next time.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes notice.
All right, first item on the agenda is accessory dwelling unit, plan approval, public hearing continued.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board notice of public hearing. In accordance with provisions of Chapter 40A, Section 11, Mass General Law, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026, at 7 p.m. in the Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of Alex Brooks, Next Step Carpentry, 36 Grandfield Street, Dedham, Mass., requesting an accessory dwelling unit site plan approval under Section 13C4 and Section 5H, accessory dwelling units, ADUs. The zoning bylaws of the town of Millis to construct a 900-square-foot detached ADU for property located at 47 Walnut Street, residential RS District, Map 7, Parcel 2, Millis, Mass. A copy of the application and site plan is on file in the office of the town clerk and can be viewed at the town's website. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, so this came up before us at the last meeting, and there was a couple of details that had to be tuned up, and so I assume that you are the engineer that's...
I am the engineer.
Okay, so you're going to come back and tell us how you tuned those up so it works?
Yeah, so first of all, I apologize for not being here at the last meeting. I probably should have been here. And second of all, I apologize for, I'm not sure that you actually got the best set of plans. It seemed to me that you might, I watched it on YouTube, so it seemed to me like, you know, they might not have been the easiest to read. So we did two things. I went back and met with John McVeigh because he did have some trepidation over the septic design. We made a couple of little adjustments to it to make it a little more palatable to him. So they have issued the permit now. There's some other form or thing that they do before the ADU can get started and go to the building inspector. Oh, by the way, did I tell you my name? John Glassa.
Okay.
Glassa Engineering, 46 East Street in East Walpole.
Great.
And so let me just show you what I was talking about. First of all, when I did watch the meeting on YouTube, I did agree that probably made sense to put some sort of a compost sock between this neighbor to the right and the neighbor to the rear because they are downhill from where this septic system and where this ADU is going to be constructed. The other lot's kind of uphill to the left, so we don't need it on that side. The other thing is, so what I did with John is, so there's a thing called the breakout elevation where if you're a mounded system, 15 feet away, you have to drop down, but it wasn't a mounded system. But to make him a little more comfortable, because we had more, I always put the septic systems up as high as possible. Just makes sense. Why, you know, it's 4 feet, you got a 4 feet separation. Why put them at 4 feet if you can put them at 4.5 or 5 feet, right? I always try to put them as high as possible, but it was sort of making the breakout elevation a little confusing, so I pushed it down so we're exactly 4 feet above the water table, which is what the regulation says. And now, and it was the same before actually, but if you look at it, there is absolutely no mounding here. The finished grade over this septic system is is what the ground is there today. So it's not going to be mounded up at all. As I said, the other change that we made was I added the compost sock so that if we have a heavy rain like we had earlier, or was it later last week, you know, everything will stay on this site. And I think that's.
You got the
about-
square footage changed.
Oh, and I
Yeah,
changed,
yeah,
thank
that's-
you very
that was
much.
the-
And
that
I
was the-
changed the square footage.
That was the
to-
trigger that caught us,
Yeah,
so.
I changed the square footage to reflect the size of the existing house.
Okay.
And I think that's all. So, thanks, I can answer any questions you might have.
Nope. Mike?
No, good.
No, good, okay. That was it, easy
Thank you.
cheesy.
Yeah, again, apologize, I wasn't here last time.
No, all good stuff, so. All right, were there any other questions from the board? All right, I make a motion to close the public hearing. Oh. If there's any, yeah, are there any audience questions, by the way? Okay, Dan? Okay. All right, with that being said, I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so I make a motion that we approve the accessory dwelling unit at 47 Walnut Street,
Second.
as submitted, sorry. Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, next item on the agenda would be Woodlands definitive subdivision application, public hearing continued.
I'll be recused from this.
Yep, okay. And just so everyone knows, this is just an update, but we'll read the public notice.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board notice of public hearing in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 41, Section 81T and 81U Mass General Law. The Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026, at 7:05 PM in the Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application for approval of definitive plans submitted by Woodlands LLC, John Truska, 66 Main Street, Millis, Mass. 02054, for construction of a proposed 44-lot, single-family residential open space subdivision north of Main Street, along either side of Cottage Ave. Assessors map 25, parcels 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 42, 44, and 134. Map 52, parcels 16 and 13, and 33, parcels 16 and 33, Millis, Mass. Copy of the application and plan is on file in the office of the town clerk and on the planning board's webpage. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, and so just so the folks know at home and anyone here, right now that Dan is just basically giving us an update on the project, and he is not necessarily here to present anything specific, or?
No, that's correct,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman. Dan Merrickin, Legacy Engineering, here on behalf of the applicant. I just wanted to give you an update. It's been a number of months. I'm waiting on the updated traffic study. I hope to have that next week, and I've been trying to just go through and address all the comments we received from the different boards and the peer reviews for each of the boards that we're in front of. So I expect to be making a submission to you next week. We were also submitted today a draft open space covenant and a draft homeowners association trust. That was modeled after Emerson Place, which is also an open space subdivision, so it should be pretty straightforward, but I'll leave it to you as to whether you'd like to ask town council to review that now or include that as a condition of approval. I think historically it's been a condition of approval. I'm okay either way.
I'd like to get it ahead of time, just so we could read it.
Sure, you have it. I submitted it today.
Okay.
So you'll have plenty of time before the next meeting to look that over. We're also in front of the Select Board. The Select Board has engaged their peer review consultant, GCG, to review the water and sewer design, which is typical in Millis, because they're the sewer and water commissioners, so that review is underway, so we should be getting comments on the water and sewer system design shortly. And the last piece is the soccer field. We're still talking to the Select Board about whether they want a soccer field or not. We're going back in front of them in 2 weeks. I don't think it'll be resolved by then. I do think we need to resolve it with the Select Board before we finalize the plan, because we want to know if it's something that's going to be required of the applicant or not. So I'm going to continue to work with the Select Board over the next month or so, month or two, to try to get a firm answer on that.
Okey-dokey.
So we should have plenty of time before, I think your next meeting is September 15th, which is 6 weeks away. We should have plenty of time to get peer review back.
All right, that sounds good. One thing I do want to bring up, just so you're aware of it ahead of time, on Emerson Place, we had some issues on closing that out. We're gonna put in a requirement for the developer to have some bonding in place to basically get as-built and the things that we were chasing you to get done over, Acorn Place, Acorn Place.
Oh,
to
well,
get-
Acorn Place is not a subdivision,
I get it.
so a subdivision would have a bond.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we have that in place to make sure we don't have to chase that along the way.
Yeah, so the way as you know, and I'll explain for the audience, the way the subdivision works is initially a covenant is in place, you can't sell a lot till the covenant is released. The covenant doesn't get released until the applicant posts a bond for all outstanding work, and then you don't release the bond until the work is done.
Right.
So that'll be in place for
Yeah,
the
we wanna make
subdivision.
sure that we, yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
correct.
All right, good. I do wanna make a note also that we have received a letter from Mona Al Amin. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. So it had a list of items that were on there. I just wanna make a note that we did receive that, and your letter has been sent to the planning board, so we are aware of any of your concerns, so.
Did you forward that to me, Camille?
I think you did. It was a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I just,
Great.
it was in our packet, so I just wanna make
Thank
sure of it. Yep. Good. Well, it's, good for the update. Appreciate it. And we'll see you in September.
Do we have any questions from the
No.
audience or the board?
Yep, any questions from the audience? Nope, okay,
Okay,
great,
great.
fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
Stan?
Have a good night.
I make a motion to continue to September, what's the date? 15th.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Kaz?
Aye.
Thank you.
Sorry.
All right, great. All righty, next item on the agenda would be waiver of site plan review request for 376 Orchard Street, Sparhawk Academy Barn renovation. Yep, go ahead. If you could come on up to the mic and let the folks at home know who you are.
Okay, good evening. My name's George O'Neill. I'm with Gorman Richardson Lewis Architects in Hopkinton. I'm here representing our client, Sparhawk Academy, located at 376 Orchard Street here in Millis. The request for the waiver of site plan approval is regarding the renovation of the existing barn that is on the property. As a little bit of background, Sparhawk Academy opened its doors in 2018 for grades 3 through 8, boys' school, on the farm located at 376 Orchard Street. A little over a year ago, a decision was made to move into the upper grades, one grade at a time, 9, 10, 11, 12 ultimately. Currently, this past year, they did have a small 9th grade who will become 10th grade next year. So at this point, we're in early planning for a larger building that could accommodate the high school grades 9, 10, 11, and 12. That, however, is in sort of early planning stages. So the issue is right now is that they do have some limited space available for the extra class. And after considering a number of different locations on the campus, it seemed that it was most appropriate that the existing barn would be a good candidate for that one classroom. The barn itself, which is somewhat deep into the property, is used as a barn insofar, but the intent would be to do a change of use to make it one classroom space on the upper level. What that will trigger is upgrades to the building envelope, to the structure, as well as HVAC, electrical and plumbing, in order to provide bathrooms, et cetera. The wish is, however, to maintain the appearance of the barn, so we're very, very limited changes to the exterior. No new siding, no new roofing, Even the main sliding doors are going to remain. We're doing everything on the inside to provide the required upgrades for the classroom. So, so therefore, being very sort of limited in terms of its scope outside the four walls of the barn, we are requesting a waiver of site plan approval. One of the reasons as well is that they are looking to be able to have the classroom ready as early into the next school year as possible. Ideally, before the end of October, they're able to sort of accommodate the 10th grade elsewhere for the time being, but not under ideal, circumstances. So this would be a great help. So what we're trying to do, is the architect and engineers were on board already. A contractor has been identified, so is ready as well in lining that up. And we've been in contact with Mr. Fogarty, building inspector, so he's aware of what we're doing and what we're trying to do. So by that, as way of background, we are requesting a waiver of the site plan approval.
All right, so the first question that I come up with is, so more kids, more cars. What is the plan for the vehicles on this? Because right now, you're set up right now for the grades that you have.
Correct.
So the question is now you're going to add another grade and possibly more grades going forwards. What's the accommodations for the parking, drop-off, all that?
Well, the current drop-off parking is well organized into the, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the campus, but there is a,
I drive by it every day,
there you go.
to and from work. so.
Okay. And we're talking really about the number of boys, probably about 9 boys that are going to be actually going from the 9th grade into the 10th there. As far as the additional boys that are coming in, we find that the existing parking is satisfactory. The drop-off, pickup is also, well organized in terms of, dealing with that. As far as looking forward, especially with, hopefully a future building, and all that, part and parcel of that, we're actually working with Mr. American on site plan design for that, and parking is very much part of that design. So we recognize that not just for the immediate few grades, but as it grows, we need to be able to accommodate that.
Okay, so.
Yeah, you might recall that before the new building was built, we came in for a site plan waiver so they could make some improvements to some of the existing buildings, and we told you we were coming forward with a new site plan. We're doing the same thing now. So we're working on a new site plan with more parking spaces, paved driveways, sidewalks, kind of a much more structured site layout, and that will increase the number of parking spaces significantly.
Yeah, I've never really seen I drive by, I've gone in the morning before they're even there, but when I drive by, they're picking up, and it hasn't been an issue, but just,
Yeah.
if more people, it would be more traffic, so. Board, anyone else?
Yeah, on the proposal for the barn, what's the additional occupant load calculation? Have you done that yet?
We're still finalizing that, but, frankly, we're looking at an occupancy load for the classroom of probably about 12. It's a very modest size. And because, again, with the idea of the future building coming up, hopefully within the next, couple of years, at least, that'll, be able to accommodate much more. Right now, it's just a class of about 10 boys. We have a couple of teachers that are really focusing in for the use of the barn.
Yeah, but the barn proposal will have to have a code evaluation sheet,
Yes.
which will give you the occupant load
Yes,
depending on the square footage.
correct.
So
Yeah,
that occupant load calculation would impact the amount of parking spaces needed for that building permit.
understood. Yeah.
So what I'm asking you is, do you know what that number is?
Well, I should do the math right now. I'm sorry, we're just finishing it up, as we go
Okay.
along. I've started the bill. And what I can do is I can submit a building code evaluation to the board, with that information, very specifically. We have about 1,300 square feet, of basically occupiable space that we're working with. And, divided by the, I think it's 20, square feet per student. So, we would also present to the actual use as well for comparison. we could provide that.
And that may trigger the additional spots for handicap parking as well, so
Yes,
we would probably want to see that on a plan.
okay.
You
And
have
Dan,
that
just-
calculation.
Whoops, sorry, one more question, and I assume it's not necessarily in our purview, but does the septic, will that carry those additional people, or are you gonna have?
Yeah, the septic system's designed for 200 people,
Okay, so.
and
you're-
they're below
you're-
that.
yeah.
They're well below
Yeah, I
that.
saw it was pretty big. so.
Yeah, it was a big septic system we put in there.
All right. Anyone else? All right. So if we wanted to get that, would you want to get Mike, I'm just thinking we could close the public hearing, but
Can we just put a condition on it that
that we have the,
when,
This is-
oh, just waive it, yeah, we would just ask for
for the waiver,
yeah,
that we have a condition with a plan submitted,
yeah,
once they get the occupant load calculation, if it's going to impact any of the parking and the
Yeah.
handicap parking, if so, where it's going to be.
okay, fair enough. All right, so I make a motion to waive the site plan approval with the condition that Mike just said, which we had the occupant load, and then any changes in the parking, which would be required by that.
Exactly.
So I made a motion, second.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, all set.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okey dokey. All right, next item on the agenda is zoning map amendment discussion, watershed area, special flood district. So basically, at the town meeting, we presented a map that the town approved. In reviewing it, it was found that one of the layers on the map, when they did the, printing the map, was left off accidentally. And so they basically added that layer back in, which then created a new watershed area, special flood district, because that was actually left off the map by accident. So what we're recommending is that we send it to the select board to refer back to us for a public hearing. So basically, it was a snafu in the presented drawing that we are trying to correct. So I make a motion that we recommend this to the select board, and do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great, thank you. Okey dokey. Let's see, I make a motion that we approve the minutes from July 14th as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Do we have any bills?
Nope, there are no bills.
Fantastic.
Just confirming
Yep.
September 15th is the next meeting, and then October 6th. Does that work for people to get back on the earlier?
October 6th might be a problem, because it's my anniversary.
My
So I would like to defer that, or you could be joining me for a different type of, a different type of, I wouldn't say celebration, but maybe.
You hold this on the
Yes.
6th, and you're.
I know, I'm in deep trouble,
You
so
better do
I'd
a better,
like.
you better do a better job shopping.
Yes, I know. I would like,
October 13th?
The 13th, after the
13th,
holiday?
sounds fantastic, thank you.
13th.
Yes, it would be 36 years, I would be in deep doo-doo, so,
Congratulations.
alrighty. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, then I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you.